Ministers of State, the Ghana Telecoms Chamber, industry players, distinguished panelists, and other discussants, invited guests, the media, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. It is an honor to deliver the keynote address for this year's gathering on the theme, The Rise of Africa, Promoting Africa's Sustainable Digital Ecosystem. Let me express my profound gratitude to the Ghana Chamber of Telecommunications and Financial Inclusion Forum for Africa for organizing this event to bring together stakeholders of Ghana's financial industry and the vibrant digital financial service ecosystem. This is an ideas forum, the exchange of ideas on how best to leverage mobile technology for national development. Let me commend all stakeholders who have committed time, energy, and financial resources to make this event possible. I am pleased that the Mobile Technology for Development Conference, which I had the honor to launch last year, has not only become a platform for industry engagement to shape our local digital ecosystem, but it has also helped position Ghana as a major destination for global technology investors. I want to thank you all for making this possible. When we look at the issue of digitization in Africa, what is clear is that Africa is awake to the possibilities and opportunities of the fourth industrial revolution. And Africa is not going to be left behind this time around. And Ghana is an example of what we are doing on the continent in the context of digitization. If you look at how we have approached digitization in Ghana, we have approached it from the point of view of solving the basic problems that face most of our people. We are trying to make sure we use the digital ecosystem to solve real problems on the ground. And our approach is to partner with the private sector to accomplish the goals of development through digital technologies. Government alone is not in a position to do this by itself. And therefore, the partnership with the private sector, whether you're talking about the fintechs or the telcos or the banks, becomes very critical in achieving the objectives of leveraging digital technology for economic development. It is in this context that we have identified, in the context of Ghana and our development objectives, certain key pillars that we've had to put in place to drive the digital ecosystem. And as I said, we worked and we are working with the private sector in putting these pillars in place. First of all, we realized that one of the problems of exclusion, not only financial exclusion, but general exclusion from the economic databases and so on, and the economy as a whole. One of the major problems that we have faced is the problem of identity. Just establishing the identity of individuals in the country. And this is why we moved, when we came into office, to issue national ID cards. And we have done so far about 15.5 million national ID cards people have enrolled. 15.5 million people have enrolled. That is about half our population. And largely those that have enrolled are 15 years and older. And so for that age demographic, in terms of 15 plus, we have virtually completed the process of enrollment of people and with unique national ID numbers. But that alone is not sufficient. We realize that you have to make this relevant to the everyday activities of government and of individuals and of the private sector. And so whilst we have issued national ID cards, we have to make them practical. And in that context, we've had to integrate, or we are in the process of integrating the national ID cards with the different databases that government has. One of the first things we've done this year is to integrate the national ID card with the Ghana Revenue Authority database for taxpayers. And we took the decision that the national ID card number, which is the unique number, will replace the tax identification number for the GRA. When we came into office, the GRA had just 750,000 people who were registered who had tax identification numbers. But from April 1st this year, we made the decision that the national ID number will also become the tax identification number for our people. And in doing so, we have been able to move the people who have tax identification numbers from the 750,000 that was in the case in 2016 to 15.5 million today. And so just using that digitization process, we have been able to expand the potential tax base of the economy. And so now we are going to be building on this. We've done the same for the Social Security and National Insurance Trust, the SNIT. And we have replaced the SNIT number with the national ID number, which again becomes a unique identifier for all pension contributors. And in so doing, we've increased the number of people who are registered for SNIT from about 3 million to about 15.5 million. And we've done the same thing for the National Health Insurance Scheme. And that is also, so we are establishing unique identifiers across for transactions in the government space. Going forward, we're going to be linking the national ID with the criminal database to allow people to also be able to check criminal backgrounds on their mobile devices. If you're employing a driver or you're employing anybody, you may be able to yes, you should be able to check on the background without necessarily going to police headquarters and going through all of that. Now we would digitize the process, and once you have the national ID number, you should be able to get the background of that. Very soon, in the next few months, we hope, we are also going to link our SIM cards, all the mobile SIM cards that we have in the country, with unique national ID numbers. And work is already, discussions are ongoing, and I'm sure our hardworking Minister for Communications and Digitalisation will soon make an announcement in this regard. But we expect in the course of this year that we will register all SIM cards with the unique national ID card, which would become what will be operative across the whole of Ghana and many years subsequent. I think that becomes the unique identifier, and it becomes the same thing with bank accounts. I think we are in the discussion. We are in discussion with the banks right now, and the verification for bank accounts, establishing, opening, and continuous continuing to operate bank accounts will be dependent on the national ID cards. We will have every bank customer uniquely identified with the national ID card, and that process will soon start, so that the verification of individuals as they come into banks will be very simple for that. We are also linking the national ID card with the database at the Controller and Accountant General's Department. This is where the government payroll is done. So you know that for many years we have been struggling with this problem of ghost workers on government payroll. Now this linkage should be complete in the next few months with the payroll, with the national ID card. And once that is completed, the problem of ghost workers on government payroll, which has bedeviled our public finance system for many years, will become history. That problem will no longer exist, because every government worker will have a unique set of fingerprints, and ghosts will not have any fingerprints. So this is a major point that we are looking at. Now, so we did the national ID card, and we are linking the national ID card to the major databases. And this is going to solve a lot of problems and make the acquisition of passports, driver's licenses, and so on. These are all going to be linked. Work is going on with the passport office, with the driver's and vehicle licensing authority, and so on. So we are creating an ecosystem within the space in terms of provision of government services that would really have a major impact on development, because once you have identity, then you have some integrity and some trust in the transactions that are undertaken, and therefore you will have more of such, and so on. Another major pillar that we have put in place is mobile money interoperability. Again, this was done with the cooperation and in concert with the private sector, the banks, the telcos in particular, with the central bank driving the whole initiative through GIPS, the Ghana Interbank Payment and Settlement Service. And we've had major cooperation in terms of mobile money interoperability, and the basically the interoperability between and the movement of funds between mobile wallets and bank accounts and the e-switch accounts that we have in Ghana. It has been a remarkable success, and it has helped in making Ghana the fastest growing mobile money market in Africa. And we expect more to happen. Last year, mobile money transactions were of the order of 570 billion Ghana cedis. That's about $100 billion. And that's really huge when you look at it and look at the growth that has taken place, since we implemented mobile money interoperability. And it is something that we are, basically leveraging on. Last couple of years, we've introduced the universal QR code, which is going to be rolled out, and essentially you have the fintechs, the telcos, the banks, all as key players in universal QR code. And again, Ghana is the first country in Africa to do the universal QR code, just as we are the first country in Africa to launch the mobile money interoperability, and in what we have done, and this is bringing a lot of progress, and we expect that there is going to be a lot more activity in the area of the QR code, which again, as I said, is being patronized by the telcos, the fintechs, and the banks, and it will, all of this architecture that we have put in place in the payment system is going to move Ghana towards a very cash-light society that we are doing. In addition, we have the digital address system that we have implemented. And this is one of the major interventions, because addresses historically have been a very big problem. Finding the locations and addresses of various place properties and where people live and so on has been a major problem. And therefore, we implemented a digital address system complementing the existing street address and house number. So we have the Ghana Post GPS system, which is on the mobile app. And recently we have enhanced this with making sure that every street in Ghana is named and every house is named. So we have about 7.5 million properties, and we have begun the first phase of actually putting the plates, address plates, for each house and property. So we have one institution, which is the Land Use and Spatial Planning Authority, which is responsible for generating for any new house an address plate that will be put there for free for every house. But that means that when this project is completed, we will have a database with addresses for every property. So the number plate, the address plate will have the house number, the street address, the digital address, and also a QR code with some basic details of the property there on the address plate, so that you can find. So it is a major step forward, and all of this is working together with the national ID, together with the mobile money interoperability. The address system complements all of this, and it's all working to make sure that in Ghana you will be able to do transactions. You know where the person lives, what their address is, and they can make payments, and it's all in the context of this whole digital ecosystem. And so we are very excited. We think that we've put in place these key pillars to enhance and leverage on mobile technology to deliver major services and for development to take place in the country. So there's a whole lot that we are hoping to accomplish in this context. I recall, ladies and gentlemen, that I had the pleasure to share some of the major strides that we made using technology to solve some of these problems. When you look at where we're going, however, as digital services expand, new partnerships will emerge, and so will new opportunities. But one major challenge confronting the financial industry today is the proliferation of fraudulent activities. This is a huge worry for government, service providers, and consumers, because the soundness of a good digital ecosystem must guarantee all users reliability, security, confidentiality, and completeness of all transactions. I'm therefore pleased to announce the launch of the Fraud Control Dashboard Initiative by the industry and in partnership with the Bank of Ghana and the Ghana Police. This platform will harmonize the individual fraud control mechanisms of mobile money operators to strengthen our national resolve in tackling and mitigating fraud on our networks. It will help in blocking SIM cards, mobile devices, and blacklist ID numbers that connect to any fraud or general crime-related cases in the country. On your part, I challenge you to continue working to find innovative digital solutions that will promote a sustainable society through providing universal access to financial services, healthcare, food, security, and education for our people. I'm confident in the ingenuity and determination of the Ghanaian people to find solutions to complex problems for our common good. I entreat you to use this conference as a platform to discuss industry-related issues that are critical to enhancing our digital ecosystem, promoting innovation, and protecting consumers. Through this event, I believe ideas will emerge. You will foster problem-solving partnerships and develop strategies to leapfrog some of our development problems in many areas of the economy. As I conclude, let me reiterate the importance of technology as a catalyst in our socioeconomic development and our commitment to ensuring that all the needed investment in our digital ecosystem is prioritized. On this note, I declare the second edition of the Mobile Technology for Development 2021 conference officially launched and opened. I wish the meeting fruitful deliberations. I look forward to learning about the recommendations from this event to grow our digital ecosystem and position our country as a leading innovation hub in the sub-region. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless our homeland Ghana. Thank you for your attention.